All right, we are here for round 3 in this league against our opponent, Kuma. We won the die roll, so we would like to go first. This is a garbage hand. We got 5 lands, a egg, and a Pia's Revolution. I don't think this is good enough to keep. I think we're going to have to mulligan it. This is particularly not much better. We got 4 lands, 2 eggs. I don't think we want to go to 5 here, so we'll keep. We got an ATOG on top, so we'll keep that. We're going to play Blinkmoth Nexus and Chromatic Star. Since we don't have any colored mana, we're going to need the Chromatic Star in order to cast our ATOG. We'll pass the turn to our opponent. Opponent has a Wooded Foothills. Could be a Valakut Titan Ramp deck. Could be some sort of Naya deck, not sure. Let's see what we get off of it. Could be Jund. Opponent gets a Blood Crypt off his Wooded Foothills, and he's taking damage from it. You want to Thoughtseizes us? No, he's Monastery Swiftspear. So this is probably a burn deck. There's our ATOG. We're going to Darksteel Citadel. We will sacrifice Darksteel for a red. Sorry, sacrifice Chromatic Star using Darksteel Citadel. Draw our card, which is another Darksteel Citadel, and we'll play our ATOG and pass the turn. Now, if he attacks here, I think we might actually block. Ooh, that's hard to say. That's hard to say, because if he's got something like a Lightning Bolt, then he can kill our ATOG, and that puts us kind of short on threats. He's got a Faithless Looting pre-combat, however, so it looks like he's probably looking to draw into a land. Does he find the land? He does. Looks like he's got something that he wants to do now. It's a swamp or Inquisition of Kozilek. You bet. We're going to lose our Implement of Ferocity. You can see our garbage hand of non-colored lands here. Let's see. He attacks here. We could sacrifice. That'll make our guy a 3/4. We can block. Nobody dies. I think we're going to save it. I think we're going to go ahead and take the 3 damage. And we get a Disciple of the Vault that we can't cast because we don't have mana to do so. So we're going to activate our Blinkmoth Nexus, and we will attack with both. The block step, we will sacrifice our Darksteel Citadel, and we're going to get in for 4. So our opponent's at 12. Pass the turn. It is really rough to get 5 land hands, or 5 lands, and then not a single one of them can cast any of your spells. Opponent has a Dreadbore. Kind of an unusual burn deck. A lot of non-burny spells so far. Taking another 2, looks like. See if our opponent has a follow-up spell. Doesn't look like he does. So we draw a Shrapnel Blast that, again, we can't cast. So let's activate and attack for 1. And it's fetching it into his end of my turn. He's getting a Sacred Foundry. So it looks like he's like a Mardu burn deck. It's an interesting color combination. Looks like he's got a Boros Charm here. He has a Lingering Souls. Okay. Lingering Souls. Maybe he's not a burn deck at all. Maybe he's just kind of a Mardu good stuff deck. But he's going to get some Spirit Tokens. Opponent's got another Fetch Land. Looks like he's got something else he wants to cast. Opponent's got another Faithless Looting. Opponent's getting in for 3. We're down to 11. Pass the turn back to us. We have an Implement of Ferocity. We unfortunately can't attack with both of our Blinkmoth Nexuses. We could attack with one and pump the other one. I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to activate 1, and we're going to attack with it. Now, our opponent might not know about how Blinkmoth Nexus can pump other Nexuses, so he may only block with 1 Spirit Token. But even if he blocks with both, we're going to still pump. Yeah, he does. So he does know how that works. Makes our guy a 2/2, so we'll get both of his tokens. He can, of course, flash back Lingering Souls, so that puts us in the same situation. It's got a Lightning Bolt, and his last card is a Bedlam Reveler. Okay. Some spicy stuff right there. Like that. Gonna get to draw 3 cards off of it. Tax us for 2. We're at 6. We have a Terrarian. So I think we're dead. I think we are just dead, unfortunately. So we're gonna go ahead and concede. Go to our sideboard. What do we want? What do we want? I think Fatal Push is a good card against him. I don't think we need more discard, although Duress and Inquisition both basically hit everything in his deck, so I think we're going to take both of those. And we could take the Anger of the Gods. Now, cards that we don't necessarily need. We can cut Pia's Revolution, I think. And I think we can cut... we could cut a couple of eggs, I think. Let's cut Implement of Ferocities. Those are the ones that we're least likely to be able to actually activate. And we could try it like that. We would like to play first. Hopefully we get a decent hand this game. This is definitely not a decent hand. This is a one-lander that can't cast anything, so we have to mulligan. This is also a one-lander, but it can cast pretty mostly 4 out of 5 cards in our hand. So I think we can keep this one. And I think we're going to Inquisition a Kozilek on turn 1. So we're going to keep... It doesn't really matter what's on top of our library, because we're going to be fetching it away anyhow. Unfortunately, we do have to fetch for a shock against a burn deck, which kind of sucks, but let's see if we can get rid of his best first turn play. Let's see. He's got a Fatal Push. That's not going to hurt us. Culligan's Command is a good card. Actually, Culligan's Command basically means whatever we put in. Like, he's got this young Pyromancer that we would like to be able to hit, but I think we got to get rid of the Culligan's Command, because that just means he's going to get his young Pyromancer back. So, and we can't hit the Lingering Souls because that's just value for him basically. So we're going to hit the Culligan's Command, I think, and we can save this Fatal Push for his young Pyromancer. All right, we drew a Ravenous Intruder, which isn't great. We do need to draw a land here, so we're going to play our Disciple of the Vault, and we'll pass the turn to our opponent. Opponent is fetching for a shock, so he's going to Fatal Push our Disciple of the Vault. Considering we basically got 3 damage out of this Disciple of the Vault by making him Fatal Push it, I think that's a fair trade-off. Opponent's going to have his young Pyromancer. All right, we do want to draw a land. Come on. Not a land. Okay, so we got to Fatal Push his young Pyromancer, because we can't afford to let that guy get out of control. So yeah, this really seems like some sort of Mardu Prowess deck, which is pretty cool. It looks like he's going to take another 2 from Sacred Foundry, playing his Lingering Souls. We get a Terrarian. Let's see. I guess we cast the Terrarian, and we pass the turn. Opponent has a Faithless Looting. Can also flash back his Lingering Souls. Opponent plays a Wooded Foothills and is sacrificing it. Gets a basic mountain. He's going to Inquisition of Kozilek. Not quite sure what he takes here. Kind of depends on what's left in his hand. I should technically know what's in his hand. What has he discarded? Discarded a Pithing Needle. Actually, yeah, I don't know what his last card is, because we made him discard the Culligan's Command. Cast his Fatal Push, we destroyed his young Pyromancer, and he's cast his Lingering Souls. He took the Implement of Ferocity, and he has a Bedlam Reveler as his last card, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Opponent's going to come across for 2. We have still not drawn a land. Yeah, so far what's been killing us the most in this deck is just not being able to keep hands with enough lands in them, or having too many lands. Some of that is up to variance, but some of it is just the way the deck is built, because half of the lands in the deck don't produce mana that can cast our actual spells, like Atogs and Shrapnel Blasts and things like that. So it's really easy for us to be in situations where we can't cast spells. We're going to pass here. I think we have at least one more turn to draw a land. In which case we can Shrapnel Blast his Bedlam Reveler. Opponent plays land. He's going to Forked Bolt us twice, I'm assuming. Opponent has another Bedlam Reveler. That's going to flash back a Lingering Souls. It's a pretty sweet deck, actually. I'm kind of liking Bedlam Reveler actually a little bit more. I didn't think it was really modern playable, but it's got some chops. He's going to get to come across for 5. Oh, sorry, he's going to get to come across for 7. Yeah, I think that means we're just dead. I don't think it matters what we draw here. I think we're just dead. We drew a Disciple of the Vault. So we will extend a handshake to our opponent. We will concede, and unfortunately that means we are 1-2. Hopefully we do a little bit better in the next match, though, so we'll see you then.